We are going to be drafting a day in Disney California Adventure. We're going to be doing a video where we spend the day in DCA, and so we want to make sure we get to hit some of our favorite things. Now, we are going to be drafting 3 things each in DCA. Now, to make this a little bit more interesting and bring the strategy, we are putting some restrictions on those picks. So here's a map of Disney California Adventure. Of course, there are several different lands, but we have bundled a couple of these lands because of the number of attractions or snacks or whatnot within them. And so here are the breakdowns of the lands as we'll be using them. We once again have 5 possible lands, and once you make a pick in that land, it is locked out until every other land has been represented. Our 5 options today are Hollywoodland and Buena Vista Street. We've combined those. Avengers Campus, Cars Land, Pacific Wharf and Pixar Pier, and then Grizzly Peak and Paradise Gardens. We'll be doing almost 2 full round robins this. By us doing 9 choices, 3 each, that means that all of these lands will have 2 things chosen except for 1. So again, somebody is going to be the last kid picked in kickball, and they will only have 1 thing picked from them. What are your thoughts now? Fresh start going into DCA. What are y'all feeling now?
You know how Adventureland was left? And it was like, Adventureland only has a few things you actually want to do. I feel that about most lands in DCA. Like, there's a few things I really want to do.
Yeah.
But there's a couple lands where I was like really thinking hard on the list. But then on the other side of that, there's one land in particular where I want to do a lot.
Yeah.
And so obviously with only 2 things in each land, that means some of those things will not get chosen. Yeah. So I'm a little squirrelier here.
There could be so many great new things discovered as a group.
You know what's so funny is as I was on the plane and sort of like working like through my thoughts on this, I think that if like I'm going to go to Disneyland on a normal, like on an evening, I often want to go to DCA. The vibe is super chill. I just want to be in DCA. But what I realized on the plane is like, I want to be in DCA to just walk around and to just like enjoy the vibe, not because there's a long list of things I want to do. I just want to be there. But if you ask me to pick things from every part of this park, I'm like, nah, you know what? I'm good. Actually, I'm okay. Well, we need to determine the order to get us started off here. And so we will return once more to our wheel. So our first 3 will be in what order? And we find out Molly, myself, then Alan will be making our first 3 selections of the DCA draft. Molly, you are first to choose. What do you want to kick off our day in Disney California Adventure? What is the first pick of the DCA draft?
So I'm a little torn because the land that has the most I want to do is Avengers Campus.
Sure.
So part of me is like, do I lock in the thing I really want to do in Avengers Campus, because there's many, but I'm gonna kind of New Orleans Square that one, I think, because I don't think there's bad things to do in Avengers Campus. I think then there's part of me that wants to lock in. I kind of want to lock in Pixar Pier because I don't want to ride the Nightmare Death Wheel, but more than not wanting to ride the Death Wheel, I don't want to ride Grizzly River Run.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and lock in not only avoiding Grizzly River Run, at least for now, but I'm going to lock in my number 1 favorite food, cheese on a stick, baby. We're going to the Corn Dog Castle.
An excellent choice. Not a surprise that it gets me at all. Of course, in Paradise Gardens Park.
Yes, and I'm kind of benevolent. If you 2 would prefer a corn dog, you can have a corn dog day.
Yeah, I'd like to have like regular bowel movements. So I think I'm going to have a corn dog.
Not a concern.
Now, Molly, it's so interesting. Last time we did this draft, you started the first round by walking out Fantasyland by taking the potential of walking out Mr. Toad. And then just a couple rounds later, you walked in my least favorite ride in the whole park. And so, in Disneyland, I think there's so many things that you want to get done. But as you just said, in Disney California Adventure, I don't have that problem. Because in Disney California Adventure, there are parts of this park I don't care about doing anything specifically. And one of those parts of the park, Molly, is Hollywoodland and Buena Vista Street. And
I know
I don't have, we could ride the Monsters Dark ride, the best blow up of any attraction in the history of Disney, I think. But instead, I think where we're going to be going, Molly, is award wieners to eat a hot dog. That is my first pick of the DCA draft, is award wieners to eat a hot dog, Molly. I'm sure there will be a lovely seasonal option, and I can't wait to partake in what I hope is a peppermint hot dog. Welcome to the first pick of the draft.
I have to follow up. Do I have to order a hot dog or eat part of a hot dog?
I'm being quite specific.
Can I also eat funnel cake fries?
Sure, yeah, you can order whatever you want additionally.
But I have to eat part of a hot dog.
Yeah, you get it.
Thank goodness we're in a park that serves alcohol.
Well, that's my pick, which brings us to Alan. Alan, you have lots of choices. Who would have thought that Molly and I, first picks of the draft, would have gone Hollywoodland, Buena Vista Street, and Grizzly Peak? What would you like for your first of 3 picks of the draft?
I'm giving this a little thought. I think the lands that I've been left with are incredible.
They're a gift.
And I think one of the greatest gifts that the 3 of us could ever share with the world is experiencing something.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
New together. This is something that I don't know any of us have done. And I can tell you this, I'm so excited to let our cheese and processed meats digest in Avengers Campus as we visit Doctor Strange and the mysteries of the mystic arts.
Wow. You want to go to the close-up magic show.
I want to go to the close-up magic show.
Well, that makes one of us.
That is very funny because it's a great choice to with Max. But it also, there's so much good now. I just want to make it very clear. We are now, of the following things, only doing one. Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, Spider-Man Web Slingers, and eating shawarma. We are only doing one of those.
That's correct. Alan, you know how I feel about that show. Why would you say I'm not sure we've done this? You know Molly and I have done this. I hated it. I walked out of my first time in Avengers Campus being like, love it. Love the rides. Love the Dora Milaje. Love the characters. Get that thing out of here. Okay. I have a box. It has one thing in it. Now it has another thing in it. Isn't that incredible?
You know what? You didn't say I can't go to Pim's bar first.
That's true. All right. Well, that's our first round. The first picks we made in all of Disney California Adventure.
These should be everyone's first picks. Yeah. Radiator Springs Racers, never heard of her. Yeah. You should go.
Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, who is she?
A credit coaster? No thanks. You should get a hot dog and see Doctor Strange.
All right, what's the order for the next round? Of course, the first 2 picks of these will be limited to 2 great lands, Cars Land and then Pixar Pier. And then the third pick will get the choice of all 5 lands. Oh, look at that.
Not
let's go.
Let's go.
I think that this first round was a wild ride. But I think it's time we start putting on some things that are bangers. And I'm gonna pick probably the attraction that I ride most often. And that is going to be from Pixar Pier. I'm gonna be going the Incredicoaster.
Nice.
Great choice. Great choice.
I love the Incredicoaster. I think that it is an excellent upgrade of California Screamin'. It's a wonderful roller coaster, and weirdly, often I can get on it without waiting very long. And so, like I said, I think that I ride this ride more than any other ride in DCA, which means, Molly, you are left with, God, a terrible land.
Horrible.
I mean, really pigeonholed into something that I'm sure there's nothing you'd want to do. Cars Land.
Okay, I have an obvious choice, but I'm going to make like a little asterisk request if I could. And if we can't do this specifically, we just have to do it. I'm obviously picking Radiator Springs Racers, one of the best rides in the park. It's like such a great use of a dark ride, but also a thrill ride, and it's just a beautiful ride.
It's almost like they took a really shitty ride and they made it good.
But if we could try and ride it in the evening time, that would be my preference. Because it is it's great all the time, but Cars Land in general,
beautiful, is
gorgeous at night.
Alan, you're up. You have a pick of anything. The world is your oyster. All 5 lands back unlocked. Remember, one of these lands will not be represented.
Okay, so I'm torn between 2 very, very good choices.
You mean actually good?
You mean actually good or Doctor Strange Magic Show good?
I cannot believe we wasted an Avengers Campus spot on Doctor Strange Show.
No, so I'm debating between one of the best attractions in that theme park. But by the way, like, to be clear, if I pick that attraction, I know that I'm damning myself because I'm not good at it. And then the second is probably some of the best food that we could have, even though I am resigning myself to my fate of just an L. We're going to do Web Slingers in Avengers Campus.
Web Slingers is a solid choice in Avengers Campus. Now, that does mean we will not be doing Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, but we will be doing Web Slingers. And hey, I'm going to go ahead and say, as Web Slingers has been picked, we'll be putting stakes on that, right?
I mean, yeah, I'm going to take that L, but 100% I feel like I deserve to have some stakes on it when it's like a known loss because I had Doctor Strange as a choice. Like, listen, I'm willing to let the pendulum swing the other direction.
Maybe the stakes could be like that you get to pick another ride.
I actually think that's pretty interesting because we've done 9. I think 10 is a good number of things to do. 10 feels good on a, I don't know, title, for instance. How about we say it right here? The stakes are whoever wins Web Slingers picks a 10th thing for us to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Listen, here's the deal. We bought, all 3 of us.
I'm happy to ride Web Slingers. Don't get me wrong. I love Web
Slingers.
Yeah. We did all buy those, and we all need to have them. Hi, Max from the future here. We couldn't find those Web Slingers, so we didn't use them. But you can still tune in on the main channel and see who won the Web Slingers game and who got to make the 10th pick of the draft. And while I have you, you should go down and click that subscribe button down below. Lots of people watching these videos that aren't subscribed. Don't be that person. Let's see what our order will be for the final one. Alan is back again. Well, then, Alan, with your third and final pick of the draft, you have options of Cars Land, Pixar Pier and Pacific Wharf, Grizzly Peak and Paradise Gardens Park, or Buena Vista Street and Hollywoodland.
I think I'm gonna have my cake and eat it too, because there were two decisions.
That's true. You were waffling,
and I don't need to. I shall waffle no more. We shall attend brunch at the Lamplight Lounge.
Wow, that's a good choice.
I had that on my list too.
That doesn't outweigh Doctor Strange for me, but it's a very good choice.
That helps the Guardians loss for me because I love Lamplight Lounge and I love sitting out there with a credit coaster. Like, it's just a cool restaurant. The food's awesome, and I love brunch.
Yeah.
So
it was everything in me not to be like, we're going to do Mater's Junkyard Jamboree and then roll. I mean, I do too. It's a great time.
Molly, you are next to go with me being the last pick. Whatever's left over, I will have to choose between.
This is working out well for me because I am once again locking out any chance of riding a water ride. And I'm locking in one of the best things in all of Disneyland Resort. I hope you're ready to stay there all frickin' day because we're going to watch World of Color.
Oh, a solid pick and one of my absolute favorites. A beautiful nighttime spectacular, and that does mean we will be there late into the evening.
I want to point out the other thing on my list for that land was Goofy Sky School.
Oh my god.
And the last time we rode that, these two are in the back screaming because how do I put this on stream?
However you want.
You just say it.
There's a part of my body that was not impacted. I don't have it. These two do have it.
All you need to know about Goofy Sky School, if you've never ridden it, it's like a little Mouser coaster. It's sort of like a Primeval Whirl if it didn't turn. But when you get in Goofy Sky School, there is a tall protrusion that goes between your legs. Then it goes down these hills, you understand? Where your body is
back and forth.
sort of forced down upon that protrusion
repeatedly
at velocity.
I was laughing so hard because these two are in the back just going,
Man. Okay. Well, that leaves me with 2 lands left for the final pick of the DCA draft. My 2 options are Hollywoodland and Buena Vista Street or Cars Land. Even with Cars Land, this is really what's hammering home what I said earlier, which is that I think DCA for me is all about atmosphere and not about the individual things you can do. Even in one of the best lands in the park, you're like, I mean, maybe,
it's just vibing.
It's just about vibing. I have an attraction in each one that I could go for. I'm going to be honest that it's kind of a 50-50 for me. They're both pretty much on par with one another. And I think I'm going to surprise myself here in that I'm actually not going to go with Cars Land. I'm going to leave Cars Land with the land that only has one attraction. I am going to surprise myself and give Hollywood Land and Buena Vista Park 2 picks. And I'm going to pick what I think is the best glow up of any attraction in Disney history. And we will be riding Monsters, Inc. And we will be seeing Jackie Chan as a CDA officer.
I love it.
And
I do too.
We'll be riding through the world of the Monsters Inc. Laugh 4. I love this attraction. I think it's such a cute dark ride, and it is, I think, the best glow up of any ride there's ever been, coming from famously the worst attraction ever made, Superstar Limo. So
I think that is a great choice.
Agreed.
I think that ride is so cute. I'm in fact tickled by most of this day, except for those hot dogs and
Doctor
still
Strange.
I'm not mad that we're going to Doctor Strange. I'm going to be mad sitting in Doctor Strange knowing I could be on Mission Breakout.
But that rounds out our DCA draft. Alan's choices were, of course, the Doctor Strange close-up magic show. It's going to be like we're at a birthday party. Spider-Man Web Slingers, where stakes will decide. Whoever wins Web Slingers will choose a 10th thing for us to do. Winner picks. Total freedom. They can do anything they want in the park. And brunch at the Lamplight Lounge. Molly's choices were to have cheese on a stick, ride Radiator Springs Racers, preferably at night if we can swing it, and then to see the nighttime spectacular World of Color. And then my choices were to eat a hot dog at Award Wieners, ride Incredicoaster, and then also ride Monsters. So that is going to be our day at DCA. Stakes will decide what the 10th thing is. I'm looking forward to that one. But for now, this rounds out. Make sure, keep an eye out, because this will be made into a video when we are all hanging out together and spending some time in Disney California Adventure together in just a couple weeks. Very, very soon.